everybody. Happy Tuesday. There's absolutely nothing going on today. It's pretty crazy. I think it's because of, obviously Comic-Con is later this week. So it's pretty quiet. If it's this quiet tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to do a stream because I don't think we want to have two Ask Me Everythings in a row. I'm trying to make sure that I give you guys the live streams that you're owed. So, it's a difficult position for me. I'll try and see how things are going. And then after this week, we will have a watch along. Hey, Morgan, thanks for joining. Hey, Morgan, I appreciate it. If you're not watching live and you can't see the comments, every time someone joins during the stream, I say hello to them. I give them a shout out. Constance, thank you for the hair comment. I've switched shampoos. My salon finally reopened. Well, I'm a little bit too nervous to go there still because, you'll have someone in your face working on your hair. I did get my proper shampoo, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Everybody is always telling me that hair, like, why do you focus on hair so much, Grace? Everybody notices the hair and everything. The hair's noticed all the time. Just saying. Hey, Joelle, 29, Joelle U 29. Thanks for joining. So after Comic-Con, we'll have another watch-along party. So I have to pick out what that movie will be, but we'll figure it out. It'll be great. So where's everybody streaming from today? Hey, Taylor Bold, thanks for joining. Thanks for becoming a member. Juan, a comic book stream tomorrow? Juan, that's a great idea. That's what we'll do tomorrow. Juan, you saved it. You saved the stream because some DC Comics came out, and I would like to talk about Joker War because I'm not enjoying it. So, hey, Alan Patino and Alex Tejada, thanks for joining. So let me make a note. The stream will be about comic books. You can hear me complain about comic books for like a half an hour. It'll be fun. All right, so let's see here. American Pickle Geeky Gator is August 6th. Let's see here. So where's everybody streaming from? We'll do a quick shout out. Shamar is in Connecticut. Anna is in Phoenix eating instant ramen. Let's see here. That's right, Daniel. Tomorrow will be Stacktastic Day. Oh, Dallas just did yoga in the park. That's lovely. And an outdoor activity. You win. You win coronavirus activities. Oh, Darth Superman is streaming from Qatar. That's wonderful. That's great. I love talking to people across the globe. Stefano Jr. is in scorching New Jersey. Yeah, the tri-state area is on fire today. It's very hot being in front of this window. I gotta tell you. And the air conditioning is too loud. You guys told me you couldn't hear air conditioning during the live stream. And when I did my WandaVision delayed tentative video, I had the air conditioning stay on because it was so hot. And you could totally hear it, which is why the audio is so low on that video. I had to try and fix it the best I could. I was like, that's embarrassing. So let's see here. I'm streaming from rainy Indiana while eating homemade quiche. Oh, that's excellent. Everyone's working on their cooking skills right now, which I think is wonderful. Megan says it's also hot in Philadelphia. I feel your pain, Megan. My back is on fire. I had to order sunscreen. I have to get sunscreen for my arms while I sit here so I don't get too many freckles. No, Sir Charles, this is a great microphone. I just fixed this microphone. Don't say bad things about my microphone. I feel really good about having finally gotten the audio to a good spot. Let's see here. Braden is streaming from rainy Colorado. Stacy's Grape Soda is in Turkey eating some chocolate. I love seeing people across the globe. It's so great. Let's see here. Chico's in the middle of watching Fleabag. Everybody should watch Fleabag. It's an awesome show. I didn't love it at first, but then it became phenomenal. All right, let's see here. Platinum Diva says it's a scorcher in Vegas. If you put too many emojis, it thinks you're trying to spam. Just a tip. But Platinum Diva, I believe it. But hopefully it's a dry heat, right? That's what they always say. All right, so we're going to do an Ask Me Anything stream. We'll go till 5:15. You can ask me anything you want until 5:15. I don't necessarily have to answer it, but you can try, is what I like to say. That's right, fellow Grace. Hot Priest was indeed quite hot in season 2. of Fleabag. It was insane. It was like, hot priest, that seems sacrilegious to me. And then you watch the show and you're like, he's a hot priest, I don't know what to say. Let's see here. Sean, I do love Batman Returns, but that's like a Christmas movie. I'm thinking of maybe watching Jurassic Park. Is that really, Richard? Is that some of these leaks? You got to be careful. People are getting really good at leaks and like doing stuff in Photoshop. Like that New Mutants thing today, that's fake. It's just there's too much stuff on it that's wrong. It's very compelling, but I don't believe it's true. Brett Davidson, I'm in Sarasota. Just finished some Chick-fil-A, and I'm glad it's cooling off in Sarasota. Lloyd says, Grace, with Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocketman, which biopic would you prefer to see next? Michael Jackson or Prince? Michael Jackson's tough because there's so much controversy, and how can you ignore it? But I think anyone who would be interested in a Michael Jackson's biography wouldn't want to see that in the movie. So I guess I would choose Prince. Jonathan, I can't. I'm still under embargo for Umbrella Academy, but I just filmed my review, in fact, because the embargo lifts Monday night, technically at 3 a.m. So I want to get it done in advance because Comic-Con's coming up. So I want to have it done. So I just filmed it, in fact. It's spoiler-free because there are so many spoilers in this season. It's chock full of spoilers. Sharon says, what would I do if I won the lotto? I would give some money to my family members. I would divide it up amongst us. Hey, Carol. Carol says, hey, Grace, it's Jason. Carol, 11,000, not being your real name, I guess. So Jason says, who's your favorite Batman and who's your favorite Bruce Wayne? Ben Affleck, as I said in my interview yesterday, is by far and away my favorite Bruce Wayne. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's actually a pretty good Batman, too. But I think he is actually my favorite Batman. I think he's my favorite Batman and my favorite Bruce Wayne. Not including, like, animation, but I'm talking about the live-action characters. Evan, that's so sweet. You can just say hi. It's nice to see you. Let's see here. Dancing Dog 60 says, will the Shazam kids outgrow their roles like the It kids? Yeah, I think it's a real dilemma. They better get on that. Unfortunately, the pandemic has delayed them, but I think that's a real problem for them. I think it did not work out for It Chapter 2 at all. Craig says, marry Batman or marry Superman. That's hilarious. I don't know if either one would be a good person to be married to. I don't know. I'd like to be Batman. That's how I feel. I relate very strongly to Batman. Like every time someone says like he's doing something wrong with the group, they're like, you shouldn't do that, Batman. I'm like, I totally see where he's coming from and I support him. Jonathan says, do you think people don't care about Black Adam? I think it's more people don't know who Black Adam is. I think The Rock's got some educating to do, and I will help as well, channels like myself. But I think that's the issue. I think people just don't know who the character is. Jordan Sharkey says, do you think we could still get a Gotham City Sirens movie? I do, but I think it will take a while. I think we can't really know what they're going to do with Harley Quinn until they see what's going on with how she's received in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, which I hear, by the way, is quite good. I'm very excited for it. I think that's maybe a better home for James Gunn. I'll be curious to see if James Gunn sticks around at Marvel or if he just finishes Guardians of the Galaxy and then says, peace out. Anna Kussel says, Grace, what are you the most hoping to see from the New Mutants movie? I'm excited for comic book accuracy. I really like how good Magic looks, and I think Cannonball looks pretty good too. I didn't do a shot-by-shot of the recent sneak peek because I'm assuming they're going to have one more trailer maybe at Comic-Con on Thursday, so I'll be breaking that down. But when he powers up, he has his force field go around him because he's blasting. He can blast through walls and stuff, and he doesn't knock himself unconscious. So I was pretty impressed with that. Chico, tonight for dinner, I'm really low on food again. My food delivery is tomorrow. So I'm planning to have a tuna fish sandwich. I don't put anything in my tuna except for mayonnaise and black pepper. Some people like to put onions and celery. I'm like, get that out of my tuna fish. So I'm having just a tuna fish sandwich. I have a whole loaf of bread I haven't started yet, and it goes bad tomorrow. The problems of being single and having to order food. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even touched this loaf of bread, and it goes bad tomorrow. So I'm having toast for breakfast tomorrow. Hey, Callum. So I'm going to have tuna fish sandwich for dinner, and I have some frozen broccoli. I got to make sure I get my fruits and vegetables. Pickles and tuna, Jay. Pickles? A lot of people like that. I've heard some people like pickles in their pizza, like in their pizza sauce. I don't know about that. Freeze the bread, says Madeline. I don't know. I don't trust that, Madeline. I don't trust freezing stuff, to be honest with you. Mandela, I could make French toast, but in an effort, I even have the eggs. Maybe I should order some. That's a pretty good idea. I have to order some maple syrup, but I still have time to put it in my order. Good idea. Let's see here. Pickle martinis, Dallas. Hey, Tia M. That's a very appropriate name for all the tea we like to discuss here. I haven't seen the possible Eternals poster, but I don't know if it's real or not. You know, Marvel very, very rarely has leaks. Marvel's very good at it. You guys saved tomorrow's stream and my loaf of bread. Thank you. Anna, my French toast will be my dinner, but it is very delicious. I'll have French toast for dinner. It'll be great. John Kamara says, Grace, I know you mentioned not caring for Palm Springs, but could you offer a few thoughts on the movie overall? I didn't think it really went anywhere. I thought it really was just killing time with Andy Samberg and Christina Milioti, even though they're very, very talented. And I didn't think it was particularly funny. I just think it wasn't very well structured. It felt to me like a really small movie. It didn't even feel like an actual movie to me. So that's why I didn't like it. Let's see here. Matt says, Grace, do you think they'll ever release the original season finale for Titans Season 1? I don't think so. I'm not really a fan. You know, the Snyder Cut is something very special and it has very unique circumstances. And so it really kind of makes me annoyed when other people like say, like this thing about the Joel Schumacher cut. I'm like, what? The Schumacher cut? Like, that's just like ridiculous, you know? So I'm not a fan of these alternate cuts. I'm doing good, Carlos. Thank you for asking. The Geeky Gator says, do you think that West Side Story will have an issue with Ansel, or will it be forgotten like what's happening with Ezra's The Flash? I don't know about Ezra. I hear there's like, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you a little something I know about Ezra. I know that there might be something else about him coming out. And, you know, we'll just see if it ever gets reported. It's kind of similar to how I heard that Kevin Sujihara had something about him. I heard about that like months before that broke. That story about Kevin Sujihara that was such a big problem for him. And so I heard that there's a little something similar with Ezra, and so I don't know if it'll ever come out. I don't even know what it is, so I can't even say what it is, because I don't know. But I just heard there's something. And I didn't know it was with Kevin Sujihara either, by the way. I just was told that there was like something that people in Hollywood knew about. Oliver says, Grace, do you think Jennifer Lawrence will ever have a successful comeback? I do. I think Jennifer Lawrence is very talented. I think that she kind of went off the grid. She like went too far with being real. She was like, I'm real. I tell people what I actually think. And everyone was like, you know, we don't love this quality in you. And she, you know, didn't pick up on that soon enough. But I think she'll take a break. I think she'll come back. Hopefully she'll do something really wonderful. And everyone will love her again. You know, I think it's funny. I think that, you know, I was planning to make a video about this. Maybe I still will. But I feel like what Jennifer Lawrence went through with Mystique is what Margot Robbie is going through with Harley Quinn, where you have two actresses who are changing the character to be what they want the character to be and what they feel comfortable with doing. And it really upsets the fan base and reflects poorly on the actress. I mean, if Jennifer Lawrence had ever played Mystique, and if Margot Robbie never, well, being Harley Quinn blew up Margot Robbie's career in the first place. So, you know, that's different in that regard. But I think there's a similarity between what happened to both actresses. And I think by the way, I would like to say, I think both of them were very well intentioned. Well, Jennifer Lawrence just didn't like being painted blue, and she didn't like walking around naked, which goes to show why you should ask people those questions when you cast them in your movie. You'd be like, this is a role that requires you to be painted head to toe blue and pretty much be naked. Are you okay with that? They failed to do that. Alan, I'm not going to review Kissing Booth 2, but I appreciate you asking. Michael, it's hard for me to do a casting video for the Young Avengers. It's the reason I didn't do a casting video for Ms. Marvel, because they want to go with, I heard, real teenagers. So I don't know. I mean, that could be anybody. I mean, so I don't know who they would pick from. So it's hard for me to cast when no one's heard of any, probably will have heard of. I think they're going to be hiring unknowns. Brett Davidson says, when do you think we'll get A Quiet Place 2? I think that A Quiet Place 2 probably won't go to streaming. Because remember, the whole fun of A Quiet Place 2 is to see if the audience can be quiet. Now, I don't know if that might be ruined because people might be over that. They might be like, I don't want to be quiet. We already did that the first time around. Let's have fun with it the second time around. So that could be a problem. But I feel like the whole point of the Quiet Place movies is to see if the audience, like it's like a challenge. Can everyone be quiet while the movie airs? And so I don't see that happening. So you can't do it at home. It's no point doing it at home. Of course you can be quiet watching it in your house. EMAC, The Umbrella Academy is my next review because, there's not really any movies coming out. Unless they drop New Mutants, then of course I will review that. The Geeky Gator says they're a week away from release. Why aren't they promoting Umbrella Academy? Is that what you're asking? Well, as I say in my review, the thing is so chock full of spoilers, I think they don't want to give anything away. And I liked that about watching it. I was really careful in my review not to have any spoilers. Richard, I have read an Eternals comic. I thought it was not good, to be honest with you. I was like, whoo, this is dense. It's real thick and hard to get through. But I bought them. I looked through them. I've read, a decent amount so that I can cover the movie. Hey, Jacob Thompson, thanks for joining. We have another 15 minutes to go on this Ask Me Anything. And then I don't think I can take the heat anymore in this window. Let's see here. Who had a W? I saw an Wonder Woman 1984 question. Where'd it go? I lost it. I have it on slow mode. Oh, Stefano says, will Wonder Woman 1984 move to next year? I don't think Wonder Woman 1984 can take any more moves, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole frickin', or at least most of the plot is out in children's books. There's been lots of, today someone sent me a picture, Scott did, of Wonder Woman flying. I was like, I didn't want to see that, I know that she rides the lightning, and I've heard some other things about it, but I wasn't sure if she was actually going to fly. So I didn't like seeing that. So I'm sorry I just told you about it. But, I think that that's a good contender to go to streaming, to be honest with you. Not HBO Max, like pay per view, premium video on demand, like Scoob did. Although Warner Brothers never shared their Scoob numbers, so I don't know. Jordan, I think Cheetah's going to look fantastic. I mean, I have to see Kristen Wiig's performance, but so far I think she looks phenomenal. And it's been very hard to cover Wonder Woman because I don't know what can be covered because a lot of it's leaks. And sometimes Warner Brothers is very aggressive and sometimes they're not. I don't know. It's very hard. It's difficult. Although I do feel bad for Warner Brothers. I mean, they are in a difficult position. Jonathan says, boy, Patty Jenkins must be regretting delaying Wonder Woman 1984. She has said that she does regret it. I wanted to see them go head-to-head with Captain Marvel, but the film needed some reshoots, apparently. So, they wanted to get it into it. I'm not against reshoots. I think people should be honest about reshoots, but sometimes reshoots really fix a movie. Like, I thought that the reshoots on Rogue One were phenomenal. Terry, I'm not confident about how likely it is for Wonder Woman to be a PVOD release. We got to see how desperate Warner Brothers gets, and we got to see how bad it is with movie theaters. Like, it's, October's still a decent amount of time away. Zachary says, did you see the tease for Halloween Kills? I did. I thought it was cute. It was too short for me to react to. And also Universal's a little tricky with their trailers. But I thought it was funny. I liked that the fire department was coming. And she was like, no, don't put out the fire. I thought that was that was clever. I agree with some people that it should have been an end credit sequence maybe. Brendan says, Grace, do you think the Marvel Disney Plus show should be released at a certain time like HBO does to drive conversation? Well, The Mandalorian was done that way. I think they'll definitely drive conversation. Disney Plus had no problem driving conversation with The Mandalorian, so I think they'll use the exact same formula. Logan, that's a really sweet thing to say. Thank you. Chris, WandaVision is like stuck in post, apparently. I hope we get it by the end of the year. Stardust says, what's your favorite Al Pacino movie? I'm going to have to go with Godfather 1 and 2. I mean, those are classics. Johnny Meeks, is there really a Harley Quinn standalone R-rated or that's what you would like? I don't know. I'm kind of over Harley Quinn's origin at this point. I mean, you can't top the great work that was done with the animated series, which, by the way, is hitting HBO Max in August, both seasons. That's very exciting. DC Universe is not long for this world. But yeah, I think that I would like to just move forward with the Harley Quinn character, quite frankly. Zachary Burns says, squeak, squeak, who do you think will be the villain in Wonder Woman 3? I don't know. I'd like to see Veronica Cale, kind of like a female Lex Luthor. That's a good choice. I like Giganta. I think she's really cool, especially because they've only done so much with Giant Man, with Ant-Man. I'd like to see more of that, so I think that could be really great. Also, Circe. They have great Wonder Woman villains. Lena says, Grace, do you have a favorite female superhero? On the big screen, it's got to be Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. She is Wonder Woman. Every time I see her, as I've said before, I'm like, if you told me that was actually Wonder Woman, hey, World of Devon, I would believe you. If they were like, that's actually Wonder Woman, she's not even acting, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's totally cool. Hey, Hail Hydra. Like, I just think she's perfect. But in terms of actual characters, I've always been a Rogue fan. I really like Emma Frost. I like Jean Grey's power set, although I think they haven't done anything particularly good with the character. And I'm excited about Wanda. Sufjan says, is Lovecraft Country a weekly show? Will you review every episode? I'll review the first episode, and then I got to see how popular that is. I don't review things if it's not getting enough, garnering enough interest, because it takes so long for me to make a video that it's not a good payoff for the time spent. But I'll review the first episode for sure. And I'll react to the trailer on Saturday if they drop one. Marcos, James Wan wasn't going to direct the Trench movie, and I believe it's still probably in development. Disney, I hope he gets more attention than Watchmen as well. I mean, what Jordan Peele is putting out into the world with Lovecraft Country, to have two black leads in a genre piece that looks really well done, is just so exciting. And so I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. I have seen Wait Until Dark with Audrey Hepburn, Hail Hydra. That is a very 1960s, late 1960s movie. I thought it was pretty good. Mark Gage, Mark Gage, the Death of Kitty Pryde, is that that. I thought it was, I didn't know why they would do that, especially because they haven't seemed to do anything with it. Although they're very backed up on comic books right now, so that story seems like so long ago. TJ Williams says, Grace, if you heard anything about DC New Gods. I think someone sent me a tweet that someone asked Tom King about it, and he said, yes, we're still working on it. I mean, Eternals to me really knocks that out of the park in terms of being like a viable path for DC to go down. And I said before, I think the talent they have there, Ava DuVernay and Tom King, would do an amazing television show like Watchmen, episodic like that and have that kind of space. But I don't have faith that they can boil that down to a manageable 2 to 2.5 hours. That's right, Craig. I'm waiting for Jonathan Majors. I'm waiting for everyone to catch up to me and be a huge Jonathan Majors fan with Lovecraft Country. So Haley Steinfeld is saying that she is out of the running, apparently. I mean, I wouldn't say anything is out until they sign Kate Bishop. Because I have to say, the other rumored choices sound horrible to me. Like, just not as funny as Haley Steinfeld. She is Kate Bishop, in my opinion. To not cast her is ridiculous. I would be like, what's the problem? Then I'd take out my checkbook if I were Kevin Feige, and I would fix that problem. Here. Disney says, who would you cast for Snow White live action? I saw someone mention Lana Condor in the questions here. I haven't heard anything about that. Hey, Patrick Calvario. I think that going with an Asian actress might be an interesting twist on the story. I think the whole reason you do these live action things is to do something interesting with them. But of course, they do have, Mulan coming out someday. So that's supposed to have that representation. But I think it would be interesting. I'm curious to how they could build the Snow White story without making it just be like Snow White and the Huntsman, that, Charlize Theron, Kristen Stewart movie. Well, 2 movies, actually. Juan says, Grace, please answer this. If Tenet fails horribly at the box office, will other big blockbusters delayed to 2021 or still take a chance? I think it would depend on how badly it does, okay? And I think it also would depend on how the holiday season is shaping up. I'm very worried about the holiday season because what is the holiday season best known for? Huge crowds. How are you going to have big shopping days and like the tree in New York City? I don't think they should put the Christmas tree up in Rockefeller Center this year because there's always so many people around it. So I think that there are real problems ahead of us in terms of the holiday season and how to navigate that. Marco says, I discussed at the beginning of the stream, and as I tweeted, I believe that trailer is fake. Hey, Jason Davis, thanks for joining. And so I think that I think it is coming probably to streaming, PVOD, and then maybe to Disney Plus or direct to Disney Plus. But I think September 4th is it's too far away. They're not going to have this big surprise announcement at Comic-Con and be like, get ready in a month, everybody. It's going to have to be sooner than that. Kenneth, I'm not watching Stargirl because no one's really talking about it. So I just, it's just too off everyone's radar. I will cover Doom Patrol Season 2 when it's done. I don't do that week to week either because, again, it's just not a big enough audience, which is a real shame because it's a great show. Sufjan says, well, we get Aquaman 2 news at Fandom. It's pretty far off, but we might. We have to see what the panel list is. That's what we got to look for. But there's a lot of movies they need to promote first, quite frankly. We got 4 minutes left on the stream. Let's ask me anything. Callum says, I just joined and wanted to come in and say thank you. I'm going through a tough breakup right now. Aw, and you've always been able to cheer me up, so thank you. It's my pleasure, Callum. You know what the saying is? There are plenty of fish in the sea, and it's a popular saying because it's true. I'm sure that you will find someone else. And you don't need someone to be happy anyway. Logan says, any Mortal Kombat news? Well, I saw Louis Tan apparently telling people that the fatalities in the movie made him feel nauseous. So that's a good sign. I still feel Louis Tan is Johnny Cage. And I'm excited for that to blow up. I'm in support of it. I think it would be weird to have a mostly Asian and people of color cast, and then for a white guy to come in as Johnny Cage. I mean, and there are so many big martial arts stars. Shouldn't Johnny Cage be an Asian martial arts movie star? I think it's a really great idea. But I think some people aren't going to like it, which is too bad. It's like, do we have to do this with every movie? Why can't people be open to some of these interesting changes? Let's see here. Jico says, thoughts about Disneyland Paris opening tomorrow. Good luck. It's way too crowded here in our parks, in the Florida parks. I see pictures, and because I look at it every day, and it's like, looks too crowded for me. Callum, you guys cheered Callum up. Jason says, Grace, what's the first ride you'd like to go on returning to Disney World? Well, for me, my favorite thing to do at Disney World is just be there. So I like to stay at the Contemporary, so I like to just walk around there. I like to just be on Main Street at the Magic Kingdom and look at the shops and get a snack. So like that's really, you can't do that during coronavirus, so that's really bad. But you know, to me, Peter Pan is the quintessential Disney World ride. Dallas says, what is the sweet spot for a show, 6 or 10 episodes? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of shows that are 10 episodes. Like Doom Patrol was actually only 9, but it was supposed to be 10. Umbrella Academy is 10, and I think the 10 episodes are great. Harley Quinn it's 13 half hours for that one, so I guess that's technically about 6. But I think 10 is fine if you have the story. Marvel Netflix shows never had enough story to last 10 episodes, but these other shows do, and so I'm fine with it. Joseph says, when will Splash Mountain change the Princess and the Frog theme? I think they're not going to change it over till like the winter, when no one would want to go on a water splash ride anyway. So, you know, sometime in the next year or so. One more minute, and then I can turn on the air conditioning because it's really hot today. Hey, Tywin. Tywin says, hey, Grace, missed seeing you at Comic-Con this year. Love the surprises with your Snyder interview. What's the best cast role of all time in your opinion? Oh, that's really sweet of you, Tywin. I guess, you know, as I said earlier in the stream, Gal Gadot, and also Harrison Ford, of course, as Indiana Jones. That's just great casting. That's some great stuff. There's a lot of pretty good casting out there, but those two are come to mind as some great casting in movies. Bye, Lauren. Oh, it's 5:15. That's right. It is time for all of us to go. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me for a live stream today. Tomorrow, we will have a live stream. It will be a comic book review episode, which will be fun because Comic-Con, of course, technically starts tomorrow, but Thursday will be the really big day. Thursday is the biggest day of Comic-Con at home. So thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. That stream will probably be at around 2 p.m.-ish. So I'll see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye, everyone.